What are we doing? This Saturday is the protest against the media. You can go to ncfreedom.us, 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. We're having a protest at WRAL because guess what? The media does not cover us. They're not giving us the truth. So you're welcome to come. More information is on our website. Operation Can You Hear Us Now? Next Saturday, 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, or 10 o'clock to noon in Fayetteville, and there's information on our website and rollingteaparty.com. We're having a rolling tea party in Fayetteville, and guess what we're supporting? The troops. Come out, decorate your car, support the troops. We're going to take donations and we're going to give money to the troops in Afghanistan, and we're going to show them that although our government has forgotten them, we have not. So come and help us out. Did I miss anything?
Point to the email list.
Oh yeah. One of the things. Okay. We're so organized.
You're doing great.
All right, how do you do that? Okay. On our website, at that point right there, enter your email address and tell all your friends to enter your email address. Now, why don't we just start adding email addresses? Because then we get reported for spam and they close our account down and make us jump through hoops until we get it back up. So go to ncfreedom.us, enter your email address, and then you will be getting emails. Tell your friends to do the same thing. This is a young site, but we're growing quickly. All right, so the more people that know about events like this, and if they want to know the truth, here's an opportunity to get to that. Now, does anybody have any questions before we put John on about if they considered anything he said to be untruthful tonight? No. So it may be that it might be controversial, but it all was true. So when somebody says to me or our steering committee that you will do this or we won't come, you can see what happens. We're going to stand for the truth.
Amen.
Amen. Appreciate you doing that.
I'm done, and John will be happy to answer your questions, and I have one more request. When we end this tonight, we have to pick up chairs. Anybody that wants to help pick up chairs afterwards, we'd appreciate your help. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, John, you mentioned the 14th Amendment a lot tonight, and we haven't really seen the 14th Amendment. I wish you would quote the phrase in there that shows how Congress is in control.
Well, the 14th Amendment says this: all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. Now, actually, the 14th Amendment is a fairly large amendment, but that's the key one. It changed this country from being a union of states, to a nation of one. And a way to make that analogy would be the European Union. I mean, are Frenchmen and Englishmen and Danes and Germans and Italians equal in their rights, or are they self-governed? They're self-governed. And that's how we were. We were like the European Union. You know, the European Union has its own common money. It opened up the borders. People can travel around now in the European Union. That's what we did. But then the government came in. We had this war that was supposed to preserve the Union, and the government used it to nationalize. So it'd be like going and say, well, no longer does France and Germany and Italy and Great Britain and Denmark and Poland, no longer are they sovereign states with local self-government. Now they're Europeans under one government.
Happy.
Okay, that's what happened to us with the 14th Amendment and Reconstruction. And let me tell you how this works. Originally, how much control did the federal government have over the people of the several states, the state citizens? None. Zero. Unless you dealt with international trade or something that they could regulate. None. Zero. I mean, could they interfere with the institution of slavery? No. I mean, even something that large, they couldn't touch. Okay? After the war, they made everyone a U.S. citizen. They nationalized citizenship. Think of this. If you have someone in Texas, a woman who wants an abortion in Texas, and she's a national citizen, she's a citizen of the United States, and the government says she has a right to an abortion in Texas, but she's a national citizen, does she have that right in South Carolina? She's a national citizen.
Yep.
Okay, so this is how that works. And this is why it destroys states' rights.
Right.
So if Massachusetts recognizes gay marriage, for example, and that couple moves to North Carolina, and they're denied married couple status health benefits, and they sue, well, if the government says, well, they're recognized, it's lawful, they're United States citizens, they have a right to be married in Massachusetts, are they going to have that right in North Carolina? The answer is yes. Because that's the way it works. So we're spending lots of time saying, let's pass, marriage amendments. They'll just get struck down. Why be one of those circles where we're spending hundreds of thousands of man hours? It's because we don't understand the system. We don't understand how it works. And I'm trying to get us to focus on the one point rather than a thousand. Yes, sir.
So what was the mechanism prior for citizenship? How did citizenship work prior? What was...
Well, you had state citizenship. It was just citizenship in the states, North Carolina.
So you have a passport from North Carolina?
I'm not sure they even had passports back then. I think that's more of a modern invention.
Sure, but...
But yeah, North Carolina, it would have been like being from France. How'd you get around, like the European Union in France? Did you have a French passport? Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not that hard. It's just, yeah. Yes, sir.
What is the choice and desire of people as we build a bigger unity of our organization for what we stand for, and suggesting that raise money so that to vote you in governor?
Okay, number one.
Are you interested?
No. I don't recognize that government as lawful. That's why, okay, and here's the kicker. Here's what you got to know about it. What did I say the solution is? Not recognizing unconstitutional act. Here we are begging for lawful government. Why do we not have lawful government?
We tolerate...
Number one, no one knows it's gone.
That's right.
We think this is the only one available. And number two is, we're not participating in it. And so here's what we did. After learning this information, and again, I gave you a thumbnail sketch because, what can you do in like 45 minutes? I tried to get some cogent information to you in 45 minutes that doesn't overwhelm you too much, to where we can come to some conclusions here. And what we did in 1997, see, I've been doing this for a long time. 1997, we issued a declaration of reestablishment to the government, to Jim Hunt and to Bill Clinton. There were 13 of us. And we said, we're going to reestablish the government of North Carolina under the Constitution of 1776. Because that's a valid government. We recognize that as valid. And we have a hard time finding where your government has a pedigree of lawfulness. But if you can prove you're lawful, we'll recognize you. Now, the way our court system works, in order to have anything resolved, you have to have a conflict. Isn't that what happens with the Supreme Court? Isn't there a conflict? Don't you have to lose and lose and lose until you get the Supreme Court and finally you can win? Okay, so you have to have a conflict. You got to be fighting. So we had to create the conflict. And in law, it says you cannot represent another group to try to get another group's rights. You cannot represent women to try to get abortion rights overpeeled. A woman who needs an abortion, who is conflicted with the law says she can't, she's the only person that can fight it. So the only person that can fight this argument is a state citizen and say, you're denying me my rights as a state citizen. But in order to claim that right, I've got to be one. And so what we did, we reestablished the state, and I said, my allegiance is to the Constitution of North Carolina of 1776. Okay? I'm a state citizen. We held elections. I was voted governor by the people present. We gave notice. That's another legal thing you have to do. Give notice. Declaration of Independence. Notice. I gave notice. Okay? To Governor Hunt and Bill Clinton. I'm the governor of North Carolina. We're doing this. We're establishing this. We did it.
Legally.
Legally. Okay?